This is Government Unfiltered. I'm Dan Williams. This podcast is a reading of the December 22nd, 2022 final report from the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Chapter 6. Be There, Will Be Wild. 6.8. The Three Percenters. Hashtag Occupy Congress. The Oath Keepers were not the only anti-government extremists who viewed President Trump's December 19th tweet as a call to arms. Militias around the country were similarly inspired to act. People were retweeting it right and left. I saw people retweeting it, talking about, yeah, it's going to be crazy, going to be a huge crowd. Michael Lee Wells, a militia leader in North Carolina, told the Select Committee. Members of militias, known as the Three Percenters, were electrified. The Three Percenters believe that 3% of American colonists successfully overthrew the British during the American Revolution. This is not true. Far more than a tiny fraction of the colonial population fought in or supported the Revolutionary War. Regardless, this ahistorical belief has become an organizing myth for militias around modern-day America. As with the Oath Keepers, many Three Percenters have turned against the U.S. government, such that they equate it with the British monarchy and believe it should be overthrown. The movement does not have one centralized hierarchy. Instead, semi-autonomous branches organize and run themselves. The Three Percenter cause was growing prior to the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Jeremy Liggett, a militia leader in Florida, told the Select Committee it was trendy in far-right circles to identify with the Three Percenter movement in the months leading up to January 6th. President Trump tapped into this well of anti-government extremism. The president's repeated insistence that the election had been stolen resonated with militia members who were already inclined to believe in shady political conspiracies. The president's December 19th tweet mobilized Three Percenters around the country. Suddenly, they had a focal point for their anti-government beliefs, the joint session of Congress on January 6th. Court filings and other evidence reveal that Three Percenters immediately began planning for violence after President Trump's Be Wild announcement. For example, Lucas Denny and Donald Hazard led a militia affiliated with the Three Percenter movement called the Patriot Boys of North Texas. Both Denny and Hazard were charged with assaulting officers on January 6th. Denny pleaded guilty and has been sentenced to 52 months in prison. After President Trump's tweet, they discussed travel plans as well as the need to procure body armor, helmets, knuckle gloves, and pepper spray. But they did not plan to act alone. Instead, they saw themselves as part of a coalition. In multiple messages, both Denny and Hazard claimed they were also affiliated with Proud Boys and intended to work with them on or before January 6th. Denny repeatedly cited President Trump's tweet. Trump himself is calling for a big protest in D.C. on January 6th. I'm not going to miss this one, Denny told Hazard on December 21st. On December 30th, Denny wrote in a Facebook message, Trump has called this himself. For everyone to come. It's the day the Electoral College is supposed to be certified by Congress to officially elect Biden. But Pence is in charge of this, and he's going to throw out all the votes from states that were proved to have fraud. There's so much more going on behind the scenes, though. That's why he's called this rally for support. Trump will stay president. As this message indicates, Denny was well aware of President Trump's multi-part plan to disrupt the transfer of power. He thought that Vice President Pence had the power to throw out electoral votes, just as the president demanded. In other messages, Denny claimed that President Trump wanted militias to descend on Washington, D.C., so they could serve as a security force against a perceived threat from Antifa and Black Lives Matter on January 6th. Additional messages between the two reveal their intent to march on the U.S. Capitol. For instance, Denny attempted to post 2 banners on Facebook that advertised events on January 6th. Both banners contained the hashtag Occupy Congress. The pictures contained images of the U.S. Capitol and referenced the Great Betrayal. One of them read, "If they won't hear us," and "They will fear us." In another post, Denny wrote, "I can't wait to be in the middle of it on the front line on the 6th. Curiously, Denny also heard a rumor that President Trump would march with them. On January 4, 2021, he stated in a Facebook message, "Things are going to be happening here. Trump is going to be speaking to everyone Wednesday, January 6, before everyone marches to the Capitol. Rumor has it that he may march with us. I'll tell you more when you get here on where to be Wednesday and what time so you have the best seats." On or about January 6th, Denny sent another message via Facebook writing, "Trump speaking to us around 11 a.m. Then we march to the Capitol, and after that we have special plans that I can't say right now over Facebook. But keep an eye out for live feed tomorrow from me. Tomorrow will be historic." Later on January 6th, during the attack, Hazard was captured on video bragging, "We have stormed our nation's capital." The Patriot Boys of North Texas were not the only 3%er group that mobilized after President Trump's tweet. The Department of Justice has alleged that multiple other cadres of 3%er militiamen prepared for violence on January 6th and then took part in the attack on the U.S. Capitol. In Florida, a 3%er organization known as the Guardians of Freedom established a B Squad for January 6th because they allegedly wanted to avoid being called a militia. These men were led by Jeremy Liggett, mentioned above. On December 24, 2020, the B Squad sent out a flyer calling all patriots to Washington, D.C. The flyer read, "The Guardians of Freedom, 3%, are responding to the call from President Donald J. Trump to assist in the security, protection, and support of the people as we all protest the fraudulent election and reestablish liberty for our nation. Join us and thousands of other patriots." The B Squad claimed it was the right and duty of the people to alter or to abolish the government. Its members discussed bringing tactical gear to Washington, D.C. On December 30th, Liggett posted a meme to Facebook stating that 3% will show in record numbers in D.C. When the Select Committee asked about this post, Liggett downplayed its significance or disclaimed any knowledge about other 3%er groups that might show in record numbers. However, on January 3, 2021, Liggett posted a safety video on Facebook in which he and others dressed in military gear. Liggett instructed listeners about self-defense and the tools they, like him, could bring to Washington, D.C., including an expandable metal baton, a walking cane, and a folding knife. He advised all of you patriots going to Washington, D.C. to support Trump and to keep up the fight. Several B Squad members have been charged with civil disorder and disorderly and disruptive conduct, which took place while rioters nearby were assaulting officers in the tunnel area of the Capitol's Lower West Terrace on January 6th. In California, another group of men associated with the 3%er movement quickly began plotting their next moves after President Trump's tweet. Alan Hostetter and Russell Taylor ran a nonprofit known as the American Phoenix Project, which protested COVID-19 lockdowns and the 2020 election results, while also promoting violence ahead of January 6th. Ahead of the joint session, Hostetter and Taylor organized a small group in an encrypted chat they named the California Patriots, D.C. Brigade. On December 19th, Taylor linked to President Trump's "Will Be Wild" tweet and asked members of the chat who is going. The same day, Hostetter posted a message to his Instagram account explaining he was traveling to Washington, D.C. on January 6th because President Trump tweeted that all patriots should descend on Washington, D.C., and that day is the date of the joint session of Congress in which they will either accept or reject the fake/phony/stolen electoral college votes. The next day, Taylor renamed the Telegram chat as the California Patriots Answer the Call Jan 6. On December 29th, Taylor posted to that chat, "I personally want to be on the front steps and be one of the first ones to breach the doors." Between December 19th and January 6th, Hofstadter, Taylor, and their alleged co-conspirators exchanged messages about bringing weapons, such as hatchets, bats, or large metal flashlights, as well as possibly firearms, with them to Washington, D.C. They were ready and willing to fight. In one message, Hofstadter predicted that January 6th would be similar to the War of Independence, because there will likely be 3% of us again that will commit fully to this battle. But just as in 1776, patriots will prevail. There are additional examples of how President Trump's "Be Wild" tweet led 3%ers to descend on the U.S. Capitol. One 3%er group issued an open letter on December 16, 2020, announcing that they stand ready and are standing by to answer the call from our president should the need arise that we the people are needed to take back our country from the pure evil that is conspiring to steal our country away from the American people. We will not act unless we are told to. In late December, after the president's tweet, the 3%ers Original, TTPO, issued a letter to its members announcing that this organization will be answering that call. There is also additional evidence showing that militia groups like the 3%ers coordinated with other groups both before and on January 6th. Josh Ellis, the owner of the My Militia website, testified that he used Zello, a walkie-talkie app, when he was in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. The Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, other militia members, and regular patriots all used these Zello channels in the lead-up to January 6th, and in response to President Trump's December 19th tweet. They used these channels to share intelligence. Episodes of Government Unfiltered are created based on the value for value model. I create the episodes, and you can decide what it's worth to you. If you prefer to listen through the full chapters rather than the individual chapters, supporters at patreon.com/timberlanemedia get exclusive access once they're completed. Thank you to associate producer Jay Bernhard and all of the insiders who provide support there. You can also support the effort at governmentunfiltered.com by clicking the support button for a one-time donation. And you can click the contact button and ask for an address if you'd prefer to mail a check. Follow the show on Twitter at govunfiltered or on Facebook at facebook.com/governmentunfiltered. Thank you for listening.